A hospital in Gaza was struck by some sort of explosive about 3 hours ago, and it has killed hundreds of people. This war is escalating rapidly, and I greatly worry about what's to come. As this is not the end of it. This is not anything like we will see. Let's just hop into it. This is not fun. From the New York Times, hundreds died in an explosion at Gaza hospital, setting off exchanges of blame. I'll just kind of. Where is it? This is a video of allegedly of the strike. It sounds like an incoming missile. Here's the thing. I don't know. The only people who know are the people who launched it. That's the truth of the matter. There's going to be lies, obfuscation. Everyone's going to blame everyone in this situation. Let's just kind of read a little bit of this. Here's the latest on the war. Hundreds of people were killed in a strike at a Gaza hospital. Oh man, I'm flustered. Hundreds of people were killed in a strike at a hospital in Gaza City on Tuesday night, where thousands of civilians had been sheltering. A loss of life that drew condemnation and ignited protests across the Arab world. The Gazan health authorities say the blast had been caused by an Israeli airstrike. The Israel Defense Force said it was caused by a rocket fired by Palestinian armed group that malfunctioned after launching. Neither assertion could be immediately verified. And that's kind of the gist of it. Everyone there is a hospital that was blown up, killing hundreds of people. Some estimates have it all the way up to 500, some 200, injuring who knows how many. But that's just where we're at this moment. There was something that blew this hospital up, a Baptist hospital, mind you, that somebody blew it up. I don't know who it is. I don't trust either side. You have a side of terrorists, and then you have a side of a very angry government that's trying to do bad things to people who did bad things to them. It's just this gross back and forth I don't have the answers to. But the fact of the matter is, it's common knowledge of practice that Hamas puts rockets inside of places like hospitals, and I mean they do it for a reason, so that they can reduce the risk of them possibly being retaliated against. And well, if it was Israel that did it, that deterrent didn't work. We now have one of the worst hits in this conflict so far, and it doesn't look like it's going to get any better. And this escalation and the blame game and the absolute anger and venom coming from both sides of people who support one side, hate the other, hate one side, support the other, whatever it is. I don't believe anything. I mean, I'm not there to verify it. The only way that we could is if we had some sort of third party, completely neutral country come in and examine it to try and determine where it came from. But that's never going to happen. I mean, there's a full-blown war going on at the moment, and Israel's not going to allow it to happen. Why would Hamas allow it to happen? Who knows? But this kind of brings me to my next point. This is a very hot conflict. This entire area is on fire, and Joe Biden is going to be going tomorrow, en route now, I believe, to Israel. And my first question when hearing that is, why? Why is Joe Biden going to a active war zone? People have brought up the point. Well, didn't he go to Ukraine? Well, yeah, he went to Ukraine after a year of the conflict, and he went to Kiev, or what you would want to call it. And I mean, relatively, that's a very safe area in the country. But this is entirely different. Israel is a much, much smaller country, and there are rockets flying overhead everywhere. They're hitting all parts of the country, coming from the north, coming from the south. Syria's launching some. So, it's not smart. Anthony Blinken there, who's doing a incredibly long session with, his counterparts in the government about what's possibly going to happen with the U.S. Trying to get aid to the people in Gaza. I mean, they literally had to shelter because there were rockets flying overhead. Now, what happens when our president goes over there and rockets start flying? Let's hope the Iron Dome works. Let's take a look at this story from the Post-Millennial. Terror group Hezbollah calls for a day of anger against Biden's visit to Israel. Now, this kind of sticks out to me a little bit because Friday the 13th, last Friday, Hamas, or a former leader of Hamas, called for, a day of jihad around the world. Hezbollah in the north and southern Lebanon is calling for a day of anger. What does that mean? I don't know. However, Biden is visiting, and that's not a good situation to be in. If something happens to him, you have 2 aircraft carriers and all of their supporting vehicles with them, and you also have 2,000 Marines sitting out there pretty in the water too. It's kind of convenient to have, the ability to shell and bomb, say, Gaza, if something were to happen. You'd have troops that you could, in amphibious vehicles, go up to the beachhead, or establish a beachhead, and storm into the country. I don't understand why he's doing this. It is reckless. Even the White House says it is, but let's read a little bit of this. I'm yawning again because, of course, I get to making these videos when I get tired. President Joe Biden is set to visit Israel tomorrow while the nation is at war with Palestinian terror group Hamas. Lebanese terror group Hezbollah has called for an unprecedented day of rage in response. Hezbollah, which seeks the destruction of Israel, get in line, buddy, demanded the devotees of their extremist jihadi Islamic ideology stage a day of anger. The group calls for violence by Arabs and Islamic nations, as well as for international groups to support their cause. Yeah, this is a lot of filler. More than 500 people were killed in the explosion. This is about the hospital, blah, blah, blah. A lot of kids are dying. It's really not cool. So, something going to happen? It very well might. I mean, it's entirely possible that this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity to go balls to the wall. And if they do, and something were to happen to our very feeble, weak president, I mean, it's game on, buddy. It's a strike back immediately. You don't think that they'd get some F-22s or 35s raining down hell on these people? I am so worried. But hey, maybe nothing will happen. But what is currently happening is the possibility of inching us towards World War III. So I'm very worried in that respect. I mean, incredibly worried. Why wouldn't you be? I'm so sick of our country being at war. I'm so tired of it. I'm 27. We, for a brief period in my life, no war. And then Halo Combat Evolved comes out. No, but in reality, I mean, it's been non-stop since 9/11. And I'm so sick of it. I don't understand it. We've gained nothing from any of these conflicts. Just a lot of dead people, a lot of debt. I really don't want World War III. I mean, if Hezbollah strikes, I mean, that's Lebanon. That's America attacking a whole other country. Not just the Gaza Strip, which some Palestinian authorities, support. Some don't. Who knows? What I do know is that this is going to get messy. It's going to get a whole lot worse before it gets better. And I just hope that things just simmer down, which they won't, but I hope for it. And then we can get Trump. And then we can maybe not die because a geriatric skeleton is running the place. But that's it. I just wanted to make this real quick. I appreciate you for watching. Go to my link tree. I'm just going to do this again. I really need to get a banner. Wander K News. Linktree. You can go to my other stuff. I really appreciate you. You're wonderful, beautiful people. Be safe, good luck, and good journey. Bye-bye.